Welcome back. We've arrived at the final 4 events of the Viridian League, first of which the Bobsleigh, submitted by Team Brimstone. Your goal will be to get down this sandhill as fast as you can in that bobsleigh, but very importantly stay in as well, because every marble that falls out is gonna give you a penalty depending on when they do, and if all manage to fall out, you're gonna be recorded as a DNF. Now, we'll see how the penalty points work in this first heat. From the Sterling Skies. And they're off. You can see here in the top that for under the timer, if the Sterling Skies marble were to fall out right now, they would be getting 4 penalty seconds, and after every white checkpoint that number is going to be low by 1/3 of a second. Sterling Skies doing very well so far. Keep it cleanly bunched, not much chaos yet. Sleigh's moving out a bit more now that we're farther down the course. But they're doing very solid on a bad bouncer. And did they lose one right there? Just did not have the right bounce and lost it all. Very unfortunate, but the other 3 are doing fairly well to hold on. Some bad bounces. They lose 2 more. It's going to be 4:20 penalty seconds. But look at that time. 40:33 is a very good time to start off with. With those 4 1/3 penalty seconds, it's going to be 44:53 ultimately. But it's still going to be a very solid time. And that will be our benchmark going forward. We'll see how the White Ruins will change their strategy in accordance with what they see how the Sterling Skies do. They now have a benchmark to beat, but it's still early games. White Ruins keeping it very clean so far. Somewhat slow start, but otherwise fairly clean. And they're leaning towards the front of the sled, hoping to make it go faster. But this is going to make it more dangerous, but it could be advantageous, because you want to be fast. And they lose one here due to some bad bounces. Maybe that speed is coming back to bite them, but otherwise it's going fairly well. Only 240 penalty. It's not the end of the world. And some collisions there, and they lose 1 and a second. That's 520 penalties. Very lot. That's quite a lot. But look at that, 41 is just barely slower than the Sterling Skies. Of course, that 520 penalty is going to put them quite comfortably behind. But still, not a bad time at all. See, they leaned to go faster, but that made it all the more dangerous. Now, the Quartz Roses are third run of the day. And you can see the time starts immediately as it's released. So you can think what might be best to start off. Lean back a bit to get a better grip of the sleigh, or go towards the front to start slightly faster. See, Quartz Roses are doing fairly decent for a bit of chaos, but managed to recover very nicely. All for touch the bottom of the sleigh and leaning slightly forward to go a bit faster. Everyone is still going on after quite a few checkpoints. And they lose one here to a bad bounce, but it's going very well. Otherwise, with 2 more there, it's going to be 4 penalty seconds, and this time is just not quite there. 43:06 is still going to be very decent, all in all, but with 4 penalty seconds, it's going to be worse than the 2 runs before by 2 full seconds. They were going fairly fast early on, but this last section was just not quite fast enough. You need. Other than staying in your sled, you need to go fast as well. Now, the John Jolts, 4th heat of the day. Fairly slow start. Let's see. Bring it back up a bit here. Very clean run so far. Keeping to the bottom of the sleigh. Anchoring themselves to make sure they don't have a big risk of falling out. A bit of a scare there, but recover fairly well, and a bit back bounce there, and they lose one there. Could not recover quite well enough. They're leaning towards the forward of the sled, hoping to go a bit faster. On a bad bounce there means they don't take that jump well at all. It's going to be fairly slow now. Look at the time, it's only really 40, and only just now in the last section. And this is not going any faster. Let's see, 45, 46, and it's going to be a 47:01. Only 1 managed to fall out, giving only 220 penalty, but that's an incredibly slow time. I'm gonna comfortably sit behind all 3 other runs we've seen so far. Just a bad bounce leading to a very slow last section. Not what you want to see. Now, the Dune Dashers are up, and they're off. Let's see. relatively standard start. Keeping it well to the sleigh. Going a bit faster now. It's the course is only gonna get harder the further down you get. Let's see. But the Dune Dashers are keeping it fairly solid for now. All marbles keeping very close to the bottom sleigh. Not many bad bounces until just recently, but they recover very well. Let's see, when a bad bounce, they lose one here, and a second. Another bad bounce here, they lose a third, and actually it's gonna be a fourth. It's gonna be a DNF. Oh no, what happened there? It was looking very solid in the first time, rather promising even, but then everything just went alright with a few bad bounces from the sleigh, catapulting all of their members out, and that's going to be a first DNF. Now, whilst we're reminiscing, the Histrunes are up for a 6th run of the day. They're off, let's see. Fairly standard start yet again. Have to try and avoid the disaster that happened to the Dune Dashers. A bit more chaotic for now, but still fairly decent. Let's see, Uno, bad bouncer, they almost lose their captain, but they managed to recover very well. But as I say that, they lose their reserve. The other three are doing fairly well though. They're hustling quite a big back and forth. Uno, bad bouncer, they almost lose a third, but they're doing fairly well. But this time is not looking very fast. Already 38 seconds and only just into the last section. Finish line nowhere in sight. So the time is going to be a 46.18. Yet again with 220 penalty. It's going to be lower. Only 4th out of 6. Just ahead of the Johnsons and our DNF. That was the Dune Dashers. Not a great overall. They managed to hold on far better than all the other teams. But that was because the sled was just not going as fast. Now the Wintermins, they've seen quite a few runs already. Maybe they have managed to learn a bit from them. Love to see how they do here. Fairly solid start. Let's see. All keeping it very good in the sled. All touching the bottom almost contagiously. It's a bit of a scary bouncer, but recover very well. Now leaning forward to go a bit faster. And they managed to do very well. Some bad bounces. They almost lose one, but very good recovery. All 4 are still in. Let's see. And the leaning very much near the front of the sled, and that causes a bad bounce or 2. They lose 2, but are very slow, fast to that section. 2 is still going, and it's going to be a very fast time. The finish line is already there, 41.32. That's gonna take the lead with only 240 penalty. Incredibly solid run from the Wintermins in both aspects. Managed to keep the members in the sled for a very long time, and setting a fast time as well. They're gonna take the provisional lead for now. That was a very strong run. How will our event submitters team Brimstone compare? A solid start, managing to get comfortable with the sleigh, and they're very much tight to the bottom here, a bit towards the front to get the sled accelerating, and not much hustling, but that's a sign of their control in the steep mountain course. Some bit bounces there, but they recover very well. See, Una, bad bounce there, but that marble beautifully recovers. It's going very fast, and a bad bounce there to lose 2, but 2 are still going. Let's see, this is a very fast time. This could challenge for the lead. Will it? Let's see. And yes, it will. That will be enough. That will do it. Team Brimstone will take the lead in this event. Wintermins weren't leaders for long, because the Team Brimstone set a barely faster time than them, and with the same penalty. That's gonna make the difference. Our event submitters will take the lead. Not many have done well in their its event, so seeing Team Brimstone do well here is quite refreshing. Now the Cosmoscopes are off, looking solid in this opening stretch, but you can't make many mistakes there. It's all gonna come down to this later course, the later section of the course. They're doing very well. A bit of a unideal formation, riding on top of the marbles, but they managed to recover, so not too bad. Sled is going very good. They lose one. They're just getting catapulted out, but 3 are still going. Let's see, some rocky movements there, some airtime, and they lose another, getting thrown out, and a bad bouncer from the sleigh, lose one, and that's another one. That's gonna be a second DNF, and the 620 is gonna be worse than the Dune Dashers. which means the Cosmoscopes will set into dead last provisionally. It was looking somewhat promising early on, just like the Doom Dashers, but once again, in quick succession, losing them all. Now the 10th run from Nightshades. Let's see if they will take some precaution after having seen what happened to the Cosmoscopes. Let's see. Going somewhat slow in this first section, picking up a bit of speed more. They're keeping it fairly safe for now. All marbles very solidly in the sled. Let's see. Very chaotic now. This is looking a lot more dangerous. They're playing with fire here. Choosing speed over caution, it seems. See, but all managed to hold on for now. So they're knowing what to do, but that all goes wrong right there. It's just a bad double bounce from the sleigh. Throws out 3 marbles, but Phantom very crucially managing to hold on to set a time, but a 44-41 is not going to be very fast. And with 4.8 seconds, it's only going to be provisional 7th out of our 10 runners so far. Not a great result for the Nightshades. So now, we have the Autumn Ashes. And they're off. Let's see. Bit of a different start than I've seen. Hanging back a bit. Getting to know the sled a bit better rather than going full speed. But they seem to have picked it up now. Let's see. Keeping it very solid. A bit of a gap was there, but they closed it right away. And otherwise very bunched. Using each other to take momentum. So one doesn't get flown out. You saw a bit of a scare there, but they recover very nice. And they keep doing that. Let's see. It was a bad bounce that they lose one. But the other 3 are resisting those bounces very well. It's already into the last section of the course. It's not going to be as fast. Let's see. It's going to be 44.09. So a bit of a slower time. But with a 140 penalty, it's going to be quite up there. Provisional 4th. Just behind the Sterling Skies, Wintermint and Team Brimstone. Just barely not provisional podium. But still very solid. 45-49. Nothing to scoff at. Now, we have the Evergreen Oaks. Run 12 of the day. And they're off. Let's see. Keeping it very standard in this first section. All marbles still hanging back a bit. And now they're going towards the front a bit. Not much chaos yet, but you can see Swamp riding there. And oh, they almost lose them. But they recover well. And now fixing right back into that formation. A lot of shuffling. But all 4 marbles are still in. Let's see, they lose one here on that jump. And almost a second. And now it is a second, but the other 2 are still going. Let's see, it's not going to be that fast of a time, I fear. Let's see. Is the finish line there? Yes, it will be. A 43-48. The 3 penalty seconds. That's going to be mid-pack. 6th out of 12th. A decent run, all things considered. But not quite up there to contend for those medals. Now, the first run of our final 4. We have the Eventide Auroras. And off they go. Let's see. Hanging back a bit and then rolling forwards in this first section, of course. They're keeping very clean, although a bit of more bounces here. See, that last marble is making a lot of movements, hoping to correct the movement of the sleigh. It's not looking great, and you see that first marble just got shot right out of the sleigh, but the other 3 are keeping it very clean. Let's see. We have a 2:20 penalty seconds now. And to a bad bounce there, they lose a second. It was almost a third bad. That was a great recovery there. See, the finish line is already there. It's going to be 42.26. That's a fairly solid time. With a 3:40, it's going to put them right above the Evergreen Oaks. Once again, mid-pack, but a solid run all around. We've seen not quite as fast times these later runs, although this was a fairly fast one as well, as we saw in the first 2 heats. We'll have to see if that trend continues. Now, we have the Apple Tarts. Let's see. They've been struggling as of late, hoping for a better result here. Fairly solid out of the first stretch. Let's see. All 4 was holding on a bit of chaos here and there, but ultimately no real scares yet. Ooh, that was a dangerous move, but they managed to recover. Although not the best recovery ever, it doesn't matter as long as it works. Let's see. And some bad bounces there. Just barely lose Sour there. They could not hold on because the sleigh was going just a bit too fast. But it's going to a crawl here. That's not looking good for them. Let's see. 44-33. Not a great time, but a 140 penalty is really pulling their weight. And it's good enough for provisional 7th. Almost a top half. Well, provisional top half, but 2 more runs could deny them. Let's see. Will the Rainbirds do it here? And our former championship leaders are off. Also a team that has not had a great last few events. Having a solid start here. Keeping it clean for now. But this first section of the course is not as dangerous as the later part. So keeping it clean is important here. Let's see. A bit of chaos there. But otherwise managing to stay in the sleigh very well. And some bad bounce there. Catapult the marble out. It's already 220 penalty seconds. The other 3 need to make up for it with some good moves here. But they lose 2 more right there. It's already 5 penalty seconds. Let's see the time. It's gonna be... it's a bit slower for the last section. And a 43-58 with those 5 penalty seconds. That's not gonna be good enough. 12th out of 16. River is the only marble managing to stay in the sled, but with back hanging a bit as well. For those who have noticed, it's the marble that's the marble that sets the time when they cross the finish line, not the sleigh. Of course, all these teams have already noticed that. And now we have our championship leaders, the Supersonics, in the last run of the day. Going very well. Speeding up the sled a bit by hanging forward. All 4 right in sync, right up there. Very solid run so far. A lot of these contenders hope that the Supersonics mess up here so they can catch up. But it's looking like a very solid run for the Supersonics right now. Let's see. This is a dangerous jump. Will they do it well? And they lose one here. And a second, but the third manages to recover well. And it's a very fast time. Finish line is almost aside. Will it be good enough for a goal? Let's see. 41-49, 240 penalty seconds. And no! But it will be good enough for the bronze. They miss out on the gold, but will still get a podium here. They will surely increase their lead, championship lead with that. But it is Team Brimstone, our event submitters, coming away with the gold in their submitted event. Very well done. Ahead of the Winter Mints and our championship leaders, the Supersonics, as I said previously. Now the Supersonics increase their lead quite a bit, up to 22 points. Meanwhile, Team Brimstone and Winter Mints jump up quite a bit with their medals. Now, the next event will be the Sand Rally. Just 3 more to go. See you then.